Uh, Ayo. Had one hell of a dream. Well, two hells of a dream, really. Oh. Wouldn't be able to describe it all if I wanted to. No, sometimes in my dreams I'm at my dad's house or my mom's house, and I'm near the bathroom, and the faucet just starts breaking. The piping just starts spraying water everywhere. And every time in those dreams, I've been trying to fix it. Even tried turning off the fucking water supply in front of the house once. That did not stop the water from coming through because it was a dream. But no, that's not last night's stream. That's the previous night's stream, not the most recent one. And in the most recent dreams, there are two major symbols. No. In the first half of the dreams from tonight, I was here over at my mom's house, and this time it was just organizing things. And even though something took on the form of my mom, it wasn't my mom. I recognize that much. It was like all of the negative qualities from people across time and space that have gotten entangled with the concept of my mom, be it from other people's own negative qualities to the qualities I fear. And it's just like, no. It may have looked like my mom, but that was not my mom. But in the end, the real key interesting part was I read that thing aimed a gun at me in the dream. And I disarmed it and took the gun for myself. And the fact that I can remember most of the key details about the gun is what really has me interested. Because it had a keyhole for a muzzle. It was golden and it was sharp in shape. Sleek lines, but not necessarily sleek form. And I'm trying to figure out what the muzzle looked like right now. That's a neat variation, but that's not what it looked like. No, I very much look up to my mom and the things she's been through. Because she's the one who decided to try and break the cycle. That's close. That is very, very close. Right there. No, if I had to make any bets about what that thing was comprised of, it would probably be these three together. But there was another aspect in there somewhere. Yeah, that's about the amalgamation itself. Yeah, I've been distracted by this, but oh well. Now I kind of want to make this in pick through properly. Give me a moment. Flickr has gotten distracted yet again! So a short-sleeved version doesn't exist. I wish there were short-sleeved options for the jackets, damn it. For the fucking coats. Oh. I wish there was a version of the coat that was fucking short-sleeved. Yeah, that's the jacket, alright. Oh yeah, a song that inspired one of my fictional selves and or characters' after abilities. Wait for it, aftershock. But instead of it being like actually earthquake themed, it was instead just a moment where they built up a whole bunch of energy in one style of power, in one way, and then they just let it all disappear for a brief moment, completely returned it to zero, only for it to then switch to the other side of the powers. Wherein it basically the character, given good timing and quick thinking, is able to switch from throwing a punch of fire at you to the last second throwing a punch of water at you. Punch of darkness to a punch of light. Or going from a massive fucking water attack that's ineffective to the moment where they swing their arms down. Nothing. And then afterwards, a swirl of fire just blasting out around them. I'm thinking about Yuji and his Divergent Fist, and it's like, that's a basic application of it, but that's not really the core of it, because Yuji can only really ever put the Aura Punch first or second, which doesn't really help him at all. Heard this on a PBS commercial, and I wanted it, so I went searching for it and found it. Alright, that too. There we go. I wish I could get the hair that same color again. I'm not doing the effort to edit that all over again, because I don't remember what I did right the first time. Alright, enough of this. Technically, I could change Spite's background. They're only ever really going to notice if they go looking at it closely, or try to use the picture to recreate it and realize, oh, these options don't exist. In any case... Alright, back to what I was doing. There we go. That is the closest of what I can imagine the muzzle of the gun looked like. It's not the exact same, but it is an interesting interpretation of it. Yes, but the perspective isn't right. Because if we're going for a wide angle that really gets it up in your face, this would be more rounded down here. I'm not gonna get it. No, in the dream, I stepped inwards, put my hand to shoulder, used my chest to redirect, to force the gun up, then used my free hand on the left to struggle with it until I was able to get it out of Spite's hands. I would say it was more of an amalgamation than Spite themselves. After all, we only just refined down the possibility we saw in there down to Spite. It wasn't inherently Spite themselves who was part of that amalgamation. Oh. As for the second half of the dream, I basically just... started out without superpowers or anything, and it's just like, okay, I'm in a situation, there's a hostile auto turret that I need to deal with inside a building. Need to take it out, managed to do so in the shorter segment, but then rewound time and explored a different avenue of expression to see if I could do it again. But instead, it was because it was a different expression, things played out differently, and this dream morphed and changed. Unfortunately, the fucking turret was a Gatling gun. Difficult angles to avoid. But yeah, that's how. Dashed over into there, but then there was a window, and I saw someone get shot several times until on a different reset or rewind, they survived. And I was just stuck in a fucking corner. Fucking turret. It was on an, it was able to aim down too, the fucking thing. Window stops about here, so there's this blind spot that you can quickly duck in and out of. Fucking thing was a menace. Somewhat closer. But after that got resolved, then it's like, okay, go wander throughout the facility. Ah, shit, they've got lasers on the ceiling. Go out the window. Wait, the lasers are starting to fire outside the building. Why are they so strong? Why can they go across miles without losing damage potency? I just kind of started fucking off trying to get as many layers of buildings and stuff between me and that mess of a place. But then I ran into someone who could manipulate lasers and stop it. And it eventually turned into them grabbing half of the laser and fucking turning it into two half, grabbing the laser, bending it in half, snapping it apart into fucking scissor sword, and going after the fuckers inside the building, who ended up being who looked like small bears, but were actually in robots and fursuits that were intelligent enough to fucking not easily kill. So I then just sent them to the void and just started wandering around. Flying around, practicing my ability to actually float and fly while dreaming. I went down like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no, I was like 15, no, 17 to 23. Ah, block is half a mile, take a mile. Block is a quarter of a mile. The fuck you on about? Depends on the city layout. You know what? Fair counterpoint. Uh, ah, solid 3 miles and 7 blocks out. So that would be 4. So 4 miles and 3 blocks out when I ran into that fucker who could actually, stop the laser. And my perspective shifted from the one running away into being them. You don't need to grab the full thing, just half. Fucking take an entire miles long beam, break it in half because fucking dream logic, and then turn it into two swords that combine together into another sword, and it's just like, ah. Trying to think about the help now. The combined thing. Thank you, Dreams, for giving me such a bullshit to have to actually fucking design. Alright. Now, if I take this, flip it, and then rotate it to where this all overlaps. Alright. The blades were a lot longer, though. It was definitely a more slender sword. It's weird. It's like a scissor sword, but it's not. It's like reverse scissors. She had a whole team with her, but I'm not willing to draw that. Too much effort. Yeah, no, you just break a giant laser in half, compress it into two swords, combine them get together into a bigger sword, and just beat the shit out of your enemies. Fucking Looney Tunes logic. The fact that the hinge is right there is really an interesting part. Because if you hold it one-handed, you can just swing it around all you want. But if you spread the handles apart, you can use it as like a very ineffective pair of shears. Yeah, no, I'm still entertained by the dream even now. By the dream I had. Even now. Because it's just like, what the fuck? Such a good line. And then I waste it because my brain's like, oh yeah, it's going so well, let's flow into the next part. And it's like, no, don't. Damn it. I still want to make another sword pair like this, but in the shape of dragonfly wings. That's gonna be hard to do. Heck. Yeah, no, I'm still entertained. Damn it. I don't care if it looks more like a dog, it's good enough. Fucking chasing these fuckers down. Ah, there we go. I mean, there's gonna be a bit of blurring confusion if anyone else tries to decipher this, but whatever. Right, and now I need to think up something for my mom's birthday. Probably best if I take a break and then come back to this. Blah blah. One moment, hun. I was about to step away. Yeah, yeah. Took my early morning meds, but I still haven't gotten my chores done or really had anything to eat because I went immediately to recording a dream log. Yeah. Broke a giant laser in half and then turned both halves of the laser into a fucking cool sword. Blah, blah, blah. Hmm? What is your question? Possibly. I know what you're referencing, you goober. The new Strange Pair Art Gallery. Neat. Sounds like something to check out. Alright. I'll check that out when I'm done with my doing my little fucking Mother's Day gift art. Love you too. Talk with you later. Hugs and snuggle. You can tell me when I get back.